Hi, and welcome to the No Experience. I'm Shireen No, and today I wanted to talk about 10 strange facts about South Korean weddings. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so number 1, wedding venues. So in America, oftentimes when we decide to get married, we choose some kind of outdoor location, either a beautiful mountain resort or a friend's beautiful backyard, or a lot of people in America often get married also in a church. But in Korea, almost everyone gets married in a wedding venue, and they have them everywhere. You can see wedding venues just about anywhere, and they're buildings, and they look like convention centers almost. And I have been to a couple of Korean weddings, which is why I've decided to talk about this. I got married to a Korean in December 2019. We got married in America first, and then I came to Korea. But these wedding venues are gorgeous. They already have all the flowers, they have all the beautiful chandeliers and candelabras, and so it's already set up. You don't have to really order flowers maybe for your bouquet, but that's it. Everything else is taken care of. So number 2, before the wedding begins, the bride usually sits in a separate room that's open for guests to come in and take pictures with her. I know, it's a little strange. The first time I went to a Korean wedding and I didn't know the bride. It was my husband's friends. We went into this separate room where the bride is sitting on this beautiful couch, and he's like, oh no, go sit with her so we can get a picture. I'm like, I don't know her, this is weird. Okay, so number 3, white gloves. So in American weddings, yes, sometimes the bride or the groom wears white gloves, but you don't really see it that often anymore. And I think that is part of because you have to take the gloves off during the ceremony to exchange rings, and it's a little cumbersome. But even though this isn't on my list, I'm going to mention it now. Rings are also not really a thing in Korea. When people get married, they don't really exchange wedding rings. So when I got married to a Korean, you can best bet I got myself the bling. Okay, y'all, if you ever go to a Korean wedding, you are gonna notice something completely different. And that is my number 4. No wedding party. You heard me. There's no best man, there's no bridesmaids or maid of honor at all. I don't know why. I have seen a couple of Korean weddings where the parents were on stage along with the bride and groom, because after they say their vows, then they often bow to their parents in respect. But yeah, there's no wedding party. Okay, number 5. Let's talk about the gift. So if you ever go to a Korean wedding and you're like, what should I buy this bride and groom? Don't bother. Korean weddings don't have gifts. People don't bring traditional wedding gifts to the bride and groom. You pay $50. You heard me right, you guys. You pay $50. I mean, I guess if you want to give more, you can, or if you're a close family relative and you want to give more, you can. Generally speaking, everyone brings $50. It made me uncomfortable because they have you can bring your own envelope. The one I went to actually had some envelopes available for people to put their money in. And before you go into what they consider a reception, and I'll talk about that in a second, you pay. I think it's so weird. I like buying wedding gifts. I mean, in practicality, it's smart because it helps the bride and groom pay for the wedding. But I don't know. It's strange to just, I don't know. It made me feel weird. Okay, so number 6, let's talk duration. If you are invited to an American wedding, we have things that we think of are pretty standard. Like, we know that there's gonna be a short ceremony, and then we all go to the reception where there's food, sometimes alcohol, but definitely music, dancing, and cake. And so you usually plan about 4 hours of your day to go to the wedding, right? Korean weddings are crazy fast. I mean, I'm talking from start of the wedding to you are leaving out the door, maybe an hour and a half. Tops! Okay, number 7, singers. So during the wedding ceremony, usually I think it seems that since I've been going that it's after vows. Before the wedding ceremony is over, a close family member or friend gets up and sings a song to the bride and groom, which is actually really cute. I actually really liked it. It was really sweet. But that is about the only music you're going to hear. Let me explain. So the reason you're not gonna really hear much other music is my number 8. There's no after party. I mean, there's no classic American reception. I'm so stunned. There's no big celebration after the wedding with all your friends. Okay, let me backtrack a second. I suppose that there's usually maybe a small group of close friends that go out with the bride and groom and maybe do something. I've heard that, but I'm not in anyone's close group, so I've never been invited to that, so I don't really know what happens there. But I have been told it's not a wedding, it's not a wedding reception. Once you are done at that restaurant in the wedding venue eating, you go home. That's the end. There is no music, there is no dancing, there's no party. I hate to say it, because I love Korea and I love Korean culture, but Korean weddings are boring. Okay, I kind of already spilled the beans on number 9 because I just couldn't help myself, but number 9 is no dancing. I literally can never think of a wedding in my entire life that I have been to where there has not been dancing. In America, we have a melting pot of cultures and ethnicity. So I've been to a wide range of wedding ceremonies and events, and they all have some form of music and dancing afterwards. I am completely dumbfounded. I don't get it. I really don't. Okay, y'all. I saved my biggest shocker for number 10. Number 10 is no wedding cake. Who doesn't have a wedding cake at their wedding? Or something like cupcakes or some kind of dessert. They don't do it. There is no cake cutting ceremony. There's none of that. But I did make it very clear there was a few things that we absolutely would be having at our wedding. And my husband was all for it. He's like, yes, let's do the full American style wedding. But of course we had cake. And my husband actually loves telling his friends in Korea about how much more fun our wedding was in comparison to how Korean weddings standardly are. I am not bashing Korean weddings. It's their culture, it's how they do things, but I gotta tell you, there is no question on which wedding style I would rather go to. So I really hope you like this video. Please leave a comment below. Let me know if you've gone to any unique weddings that had things culturally or that surprised you and you thought was cool or you didn't like. I don't know. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you would like to support the channel so I can continue to bring you these videos and also show you more of Korea, the culture, and also, if you haven't noticed, I do a lot of really funny skits on my channel too to liven things up. You can definitely support the channel at patreon.com/theknowexperience. Your financial support will make it possible for me to continue to do that, as well as upgrade some of my equipment so I can bring you even better videos. So until next time, my friends, stay classy, YouTube. Bye.